it there seems to have been some changes in your life, like some people changes and stuff. How have you been? What do you think about those changes? We already talked about coach, wrestling coach that was with you since the 7th grade. He's no longer he's no longer your wrestling coach. People in the math league, sisters out of the house now, right? They went off to college.
Yeah.
There seems to be some changes in the people or changes in schedule with them, or at the least changes in schedule. Tell me about what you think about that. What do you feel about these changes in your life?
Right. I mean, I knew it was coming. Like my sisters, at least, like I knew that they had to go off to school. The wrestling coach, that would hit pretty hard because, well, his wife is having a baby, so that's the reason why he's not coaching. But I mean, like, he didn't tell us until like a month before the season started, if that, and so it was pretty sudden. So I mean, like, that happened, and then right before that, my sisters went to school, and right after my sisters went to school, my uncle and I stopped hanging out, and I don't know, like, now that you said that, I do kind of realize, like, it is a lot of change. There are a lot of
boom, boom, boom.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what it seems like
back to back. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people coming and going, and now, especially with my wrestling teammates and my math league teammates, and what would have been possibly the baseball teammates that I would have had now, like, don't really have anybody.
With the sudden changes in schedules and so on and so forth, I would like to ask you a couple of questions about you and medical and stuff like that. Oh, for instance, you said that there's been a change in your schedule.
Yeah.
All right, so you're staying up later. So how's your sleep been at night? If you're staying up till, you're saying lately you've been staying up past
midnight.
Yeah. You said maybe even 1 o'clock a couple times.
Right.
It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in California on the West Coast. So how's your sleep been lately?
I mean, when I sleep, it's good, but I don't get to sleep that often. It's kind of hard for me to fall asleep. And then once I do fall asleep, it's even harder to stay asleep. So I mean, like, even on a night where, let's say I get in bed right at midnight and I fall asleep right away, like, I'll probably be up 2 or 3 hours later and, tossing and turning until my alarm goes off for school at 7 and it's time to go. So I gotta get up and go. So I wouldn't say that my sleep's all that great, because even if I do stay asleep the whole night, I wake up tired. I don't feel like going to school. I mean, I don't ever feel like going to school, but definitely not after staying up like till 12 or 1 because I was playing Fortnite. But I mean, I make do with what I have to.
Was there ever a time that you wanted to go to school, that you were excited or at least tolerated it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd say so. Yeah, definitely. Like,
before this year?
Before this year,
yeah.
Like my freshman and sophomore year, like, I was really nervous about coming to school because I'd gone to private school before.
Okay.
So, like, it was a big change, going from private to public school.
Okay.
And then, I met my best friend my freshman year, wrestling, and he and I had always been buddies since, and, he really helped, like, with that transition, I guess, because I didn't know a lot of people who were going from my old school to the school where I'm at now, so I had to make new friends, join new sports teams, and kind of meet new people. The only person who I really had consistent was my wrestling coach, because he came to coach at the high school that I was at too.
Okay. Is the same friend, the friend that you're talking about, your best friend that you met in freshman year, is he the same one that tried to get you into baseball?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So he wrestles, he plays football, and he plays baseball too. So I mean, he plays sports year round, and so you know, in the fall after school, I didn't really have much to do because you know he's at football practice, and you know for the couple weeks that I was on the wrestling team, like that's when I got to hang out with him, and then you know now that I don't think I'm going to be playing baseball, I'm not going to get to see him that much in the spring either because